My name is Phyllis Nash. I am your Chief Sales Officer and one of the 4 co-founders. And before I bring up our speaker, I want you all to have pen and paper because you need it. I'd like to give you some information on the coaching that will be done for the the Flat Belly Lifestyle 2.0. That webinar will be this morning at 8:30 for anyone interested in being a coach. One of the criteria is you must have done the 21-day cleanse. But you can, of course, get on this webinar, but know that that's one of the requirements and you will not be able to coach if you haven't done the 21-day cleanse. So that web number at 8:30 this morning is 852-1364-3371. And I'm not going to give the pin out because a password out because most of you know it, and you know we have Zoom bombers sometimes on our information. So just know that it starts with a 7 and that we use it in all of usually our corporate Zooms. And if you don't know, call your upline so that they can give you the passcode. So today at 8:30, I'm getting out the way to bring up our speaker, my friend, my mentor, my sister. I'm just excited about this lady every time and all the nuggets she drops, because she gives you stuff to think about like later on in your day, in your week. And so this is none other than our president, our acting CFO, our evangelist, our pillar of wealth, and our almost 4th-term state senator here in Illinois. Without further ado, are you out there?
Yes, I am, Phyllis. Thank you so much. I tell you, I'm just grateful that we have the phenomenal Phyllis Nash to hold this place down for these 2 years. As I so often said that, you have somebody you can come back to that you know is going to be there. That makes all the difference in the world. That you can come back and somebody is still there. Somebody is still doing what they were doing, the way and pointing the way in the direction that you need to go in. And I feel like Phyllis is that person for all of us. She's always faithful, always on the job, never off the job. And it's a wonderful thing. That's why I want to encourage everybody to pray for her because she's carrying a heavy load, carrying all of us. She's carrying a heavy load, trying to bring people into wealth, trying to bring people into a place of prosperity so they can have freedom and be able to do the things they want to do. She's carrying a heavy load. And some people have never been in business, so they don't understand business takes time. You don't just build a business overnight. You may say, well, I know some people that did. Yeah, you may have known some people that did, but they already had paid a price to be able to do that. Right? They had already built up the relationships and did the things they needed to do to be able to command that kind of attention. You got to build that up. You got to get there too, and you will if that's your goal. But having somebody like Phyllis that we know is going to come, whatever we're doing, whatever Wakana's doing, that's what Phyllis is doing. And you know that. When you time with her, you get in the next step in Wakana. So I just want everybody to, just thank God for her because as the year ends, and we move into a new year, we want to take time and be grateful for the things that we already have. And that's the message I have for us today is about having gratitude. And then I want to talk to you about the things that block gratitude. My mom told me once she had a dream and she was Jesus was with her and he was walking around in her house with her from room to room. And he got to one room and she couldn't let him in there. He wanted to go in and she couldn't let him in. She wouldn't let him in, because there was something in there she didn't want him to see. So when she woke up and she told me about the dream, she was really torn about what is that thing that I didn't want Jesus to see. What was it that I couldn't let him in that room? And as she sat and thought about it and she meditated on it, she realized that some of the things she was doing, like holding unforgiveness in her heart about certain things that had happened to her, was keeping her from being able to go to the next level. And so my message today is as we move into this cleanse, many of you all are doing the cleanse or going into the cleanse. I finished my 21 days a few days ago. And I tell you, I feel fantastic. And I also have not had any fried food at all. So I'm excited about what I've been able to eat and I feel good about it. But as we move into the cleanse period, and this should be at the end of the year, we're here now. We should be starting now. And that is that we need to realize that it's not only food and toxins in our body from the food that we've eaten, but there's toxins also because of unforgiveness. There's toxins also because of regret. We have regret about things, holding regret. oh, I'm so sad that happened. I regret that happened. And that's fine, but it's not something you should carry with you. It's not part of your future. Things you go through, as I so often say, is you go it come to you, it comes so it can pass. You're on a journey. You're not in a destination. You're not right here is my destination. No, you're on a journey, whether you know it or not, because the earth is spinning. The earth is spinning faster than it's ever spent before in history. And your universe is expanding. So there's no way for you to be where you were last year this time. You've moved. The question is, what have you moved with? What have you taken with you into that next year? And what will you take with you into this next year that's coming up? Regret, unforgiveness, and fear, all those things create toxins in our body. It causes us to release neurochemicals that have impact on our heart, on our liver, our pancreas, our kidneys, our reproduction system. When we hold those things, it impacts everything. Our brain, toxins are in our brain because of unforgiveness. People we holding grudges against. When really we can't hold grudges because we don't know what all we've done to hurt people over our lifetime. We only know what we know. We don't know what somebody never told us. And also we don't know what's in front of us. So we have to let go of unforgiveness. We got to forgive everybody. So I would suggest that if you want to go into the new year with a clean heart and with a clear mind, then you got to get the toxins out. You got to start working on getting those toxins out. And that is that unforgiveness, the fear of what might happen to you, and also regret for what did happen or what you did do. Those things got to go. I don't carry my past with me into my future. I lived it. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for everything I endured and how he brought me out. I'm grateful for where I'm headed to, but I do not carry my past with me. I look into my future. What I'm carrying with me is my future because that's what's taking me to the place I want to go. If I'm holding on to my past, I'm constantly looking back. I'm going over something that already happened and I'm wasting time in the present. I don't want to waste my time in the present. I have a destination. We have a destination and we got to meet ourselves there. That destination we may have grown tremendously by then. We may be more wealthy by then. We may be more healthy by the time we get to that destination that we got. I'm not talking about the last breath you take. I'm talking about to that place where you need to deliver. When you get to that place where you and the doors are open, the lights have come on and curtains are open and you need to deliver. You need to be there. You need to meet yourself there so you are in position to deliver whatever message you need to deliver to the people who need to hear it now. And we know we're all about health here in Wakanda. We're all about feeling much better. We're all about advancement and freedom and legacy. We're all about peace and health and wealth. That's what we're about. And we want to bring the best version of ourselves to that stage. When it's our time, when the curtains open and the lights come on, we want to meet ourselves on that stage and be that person we need to be in order to bring deliverance to people who need deliverance. People need the lights turned on. They're in darkness. They need the lights turned on. I was just talking to someone recently. They were saying how a friend of theirs just started taking statins because the doctor told them to take statins. Have you ever looked at what happens when people start taking statins? It's just a progressive downhill journey. And so if you read about it, you understand that. But some people haven't read about it, right? They need the lights turned on. And you can't turn on the lights if you got a whole pile of stuff on the side here that you hold it, regret and fear and unforgiveness, you hold it. It's hard to turn the lights on because all those things are interacting with the situation you're in right now. So my message to you today is that as we move out of this year, let's not take things with us that we don't want. Right? The things that are not going to get us to the level that we want to get to, let's not take those things with us. Let's leave those things in this year. And as we move into the cleanse, I waited, right after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, I started my cleanse because I wanted to be through before Christmas. Some of us need to start right after Christmas and not even wait for the new year because the new year brings a whole other bunch of challenges that you don't have right now. So you might want to start the day after Christmas or the day after that, the 27th. Then you still got 27, 28, 29, 30th, 31st. Your first 5 days will be done in 2021, your first 5 days. And you'll walk into 2022 having 16 days to complete it. And you'll be able to do it. And you'll choose to leave that old way of eating and thinking behind while you take this journey. It's not forever. This is not a destination. That's what helped me during the 21 days. I didn't look at it as a destination. I'm eating this food. This is where I am. No, this is a journey. I am passing through this period where I'm eating this way. And when I'm going to pass through it in 21 days, I'm going to the other side. And who knows what I'm going to want to eat. I tell you what I've been wanting to eat is more fruit and nuts and greens. That's what I've been wanting to eat. I don't want anything foreign on my plate now. I just don't. So I don't want something that I look at it and it's looking back at me. No, I don't want that. I don't want nothing like that. I'm not going to stir it up and say, okay, it's looking back at me, but I'm just going to stir it up and eat it. No, I'm not doing that. I am going to eat what I feel my body needs so that when I am on that stage, I am prepared to deliver because people need the light. They are in pain. People are suffering on multiple levels, emotionally, physically, mentally. They're suffering. Spiritually, they are suffering, and they need people who are there to help serve and help them get free from that pain that they're suffering. That's not going to happen when we carry a load of regret with us, a load of unforgiveness with us, and a load of fear. So just like my mom had to do, we need to sit down and write it out on paper. Figure out what are those things? What is it that I'm afraid of? Right? I want to leave that in the past. What is it that I think that I regret that has happened? What do I need to go ahead and deal with that? Yeah, it happened. I apologize. I'm sorry that it happened, or I'm saddened that it happened. But you know what? I got to leave that in the past because I'm going somewhere. I already learned that lesson. I don't need to learn that lesson over and over and over again about failing to do something I needed to do, holding that regret. And then unforgiveness. Who is it that I still hold a grudge against, that I'm against? When I became senator, all the people who were my enemies quite naturally felt they might need to hide from me because now I was in a place of power. But you know what? I embraced them because I don't have to destroy them. I don't have to bring them to nothing. I don't have to hold anything against them because if I hold a grudge against them, then I have to take that grudge with me. That's something I'm carrying around. I don't need that. I do not need that. I need to be able to have freedom. That's one of my primary values, freedom to think, freedom to move about, freedom to say what I feel like I need to say, freedom to be able to just be able to help people that I want to help, freedom to spend my money the way I want to spend my money. All these things are important to me. And I don't want to carry a grudge around with me or unforgiveness with me along with my desire to be free. You cannot have both of them, right? You can have the grudge or you can have freedom, but you cannot have both. Right. So I want to encourage you as we move into the new year that you take stock of where you are as far as those things that may hold you back going into the new year. Fear, unforgiveness, and regret. Those things may hold you back. And then the eating, the way we're eating, also may be holding us back. It may keep us from reaching our destination. We got a destination. We have to be there at a certain time. How are we going to get there and what are we going to look like when we get there? Will we fit that image that we have in our mind? Or will we fit the image that whatever we did, we just did, and here we are. So in other words, will we be really ready to get on that stage when it's time? Or will we be hiding behind the curtains or in the dressing room, scared to come out because we're lacking things that we need? Leave the things that you don't want. Only plan for what you do want. Don't plan for what you don't want. So don't take nothing from the past and project it into the future and make a plan around it, okay? Because if you do that, what's going to happen is that you're going to have all this, what I call cognitive dissonance, where you have two trains running two different directions at the same time, and you're trying to ride both of them. One of them said we're going to success, and one of them said we're a failure, and you try to catch both of those trains at the same time. That's called cognitive dissonance. Your mind is in chaos. It's going in two different directions. Cut off that other train track so there's only one way to go, and that's towards success. And I tell you, when you do that and you drop off that baggage that you used to have and leave it on the old train and get on the new train and cut the tracks off on the other side, you can go ahead on and take off and become that person you're supposed to become and help the thousands and thousands of people that you're supposed to help. We all have that calling in us to help people. Drop off the things that's keeping you toxic, so that when you interact with people, that toxicity keeps flowing up, keeps coming up, because you're bringing the past into the present. Let's leave that behind and let's go ahead and take this journey that's before us, because that journey that's before us, when we leave those things behind and we take only with us gratitude, mercy, love, humility, hard work, courage, we take those things with us. what's going to happen, a faith also, what's going to happen is that we're going to find that the future is much far brighter, much greater, much more brighter, a greater brilliance than we've ever seen before. We had never seen it like that. And all of a sudden, the future is going to look like a different place. Why? Because we got the toxicity out of our body. We removed those things that are not taking us where we want to go, and we've changed the way we're thinking and eating, and so we can get to our destination and be there on time, in shape, with the right mind, with the right spirit, and with the goods that the people need in that hour. So I'm Dr. Pat Van Pelt Scott, and I'm always going to inspire you to rise to purpose. And that's what this is all about. That's what Wakanda is about, helping people rise to purpose. So you have a Wakanda kind of day. Bye now.